Beloved in Christ, may the peace of the risen Lord be with you. Today, Wednesday of the 4th week of Easter, we are meditating on the Gospel of John, chapter 12, verse 44 to 50. In today's Gospel, we are told that Jesus cried out and said, "He who believes in me believes not in me, but in him who sent me. And he who sees me sees him who sent me. I have come as light into the world, that whoever believes in me may not remain in darkness." In today's society and today's world, the uncontrollable love of glory, of power, of money, and of our own vices, what we want to do without even thinking if it's right or wrong, has made us to forget that this life does not stop here. Has made us to forget that everything that we see does not end here. Has made us to think in whatever we do with our carnal mind. We forget the divine. The people that Jesus is talking about today, the Jews, were just seeing the humanity of Jesus. They were not seeing his divinity. So they were thinking only what they were seeing with their naked eyes, forgetting what is behind. The lack of faith, my people, before the tangible act of God, his gracious power and his goodness, is one of the 7 yokes that makes you and I in the image of Lucifer, of Satan. The reason why Jesus cried out, because this is one of the terrible character that draw us away from God. Because that character, my people, is like a dog that devours grace and divine life. Jesus cried out, and what did he say? What did he say again? He said, "He who believes in me believes not in me." I want you to notice the very word he says. You believe not in me, but in him who sent me. That negation, not that is there, is not a negation of goodness, but it's a negation of the behavior of thinking that the natural is the end of all. That we believe in our own self and reject that there is a source for who we are today. Jesus is telling us by these very ways, my people, that our life shows indeed who is our Father. Our life shows indeed in whose image we are made, in whose image we are living. To be honest, when we see the lives of some people today, when we see our lives today, people will be shocked to believe that we are Christians. Because we profess something else and we live something else. Today, to know Christians, will be forced to look at their baptismal card. And this is a shame and a disgrace for us. If people must look at our baptismal card before knowing we are Christians, then we are failing. Jesus is telling us today that indeed he is the image of the invisible God. My brother, my sister, and in whose image are you? What is your life telling others? We that are in the image of God, are we that lie the most? Are we that fornicate? We are the one involved in adultery. We are in the one involved in the heinous crimes, and we are the one that are not ready to make an effort to change and follow Christ. Yet we say we are Christians. Yet When trouble comes, we blame God. We must be living gospel that people see as a movie. He says, I am light, because when Jesus is in our life, indeed, we must walk in light. We must no longer walk in darkness. Jesus is very emphatic today. He says, I have not come to be a judge. I have not come to condemn the world. When we hear those things, we are so happy, we are so thrilled, and then something they are encouraged to continue the bad things they are doing. Some are even baffled and say, you can see the wicked one are the one that prosper in the land. Please, do not lie to yourself. What Jesus meant is what? At the moment, I am not judging you. At the moment is a moment of grace, is a moment of mercy. But after this moment of mercy that you and I enjoy on earth, comes the judgment. That is why he's talking about. We are going to pay for every action, every useless word, every evil thought that we have allowed our body, our soul, and spirit to produce. Let us not lie out to ourselves. The fruit that you and I are producing are either sign of the obedience to the word of God or sign of disobedience of Satan. I would like to give you the story, an example of St. Amber today. One day he was invited by the governor, who was a Muslim, with all the most prominent people in the society for a feast. When he got to the table of the feast, he realized all the food was just roasted meat and with hard liquor. St. Amber then asked one of the servants around, can you get me lettuce? Or can you get me dandelion that I see growing in the garden of the governor? The servant obliged and brought it to him. St. Amber realized that everybody was eating without praying. So he signed himself with the sign of the cross, then started feasting on what the servant brought to him. The governor was perplexed and then walked to him. He said, my dear friend and my dear bishop, are you not happy with the food that I've given to you? If not, I can change it. And St. Amber told him, I've honored you as a governor and I came when you invited me. But I must also honor the God that gives me life. I am a Christian. And today being Friday, we feast on modesty. We don't feast on bloody meat to honor the one who died for us. And I cannot feast on this thing you've given to me, hard liquor and meat today. So I will feast on this. As I'm honoring you, I must honor my God. Then the governor was shocked and said, indeed, St. Amber, you are a true Christian. In you I see no falsehood. From that day, the governor became one of his disciples, one of the people who always open his heart to God. Children of the Most High God, today I want to tell you, ask yourself, you know yourself better, in whose image is your life? We can lie to people some of the time, but we can't fool God. A time is coming, your very action will judge you. Let it never be too late. We must live in the light of God, producing fruit of goodness, of mercy, of joy, of healing. May God help each and every one of us and have mercy upon us. May you be blessed. May you be strengthened. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.